Welcome back to the bookcase, where all your dreams become hopes and where all the beginnings started. The 2016 bookcase. Haven't been over here in a little while. Kind of missed the bookcase. A little reflection talk here, everybody. Been through a lot of eras and seen a lot of things in Magic. I've just seen a lot of things over the years. We've been through the eras. Shadow over Innistrad. I had to wear a tie. The Wall Street Kid with the Bearscape era. All the way to Rudy's Beanie Baby collection. To the silver bricks, silver bars over here. All the way to the old Pokemon. To the Nintendo games. All the way to the return to Ravnica. When they announced Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance. All the way back to the 2017-2018 Kaladesh era. The more things change, the more predictable that humans become, because nothing really changes in this world. Right now, we're in the all-new era of controversy and negativity with Magic the Gathering. And you know what that is? Spider-Man. A little while ago, probably about a year ago, I remember going through the Assassin's Creed Universes Beyond collector box release. And I remember telling everybody, any Assassin's Creed collector box below $300, you should buy and never look back. And man, I was met with such anger on the internet and the anger in the world and all that. And I gave my opinion that, time has a funny way of changing how we feel about products, and the cards and the boxes stay the same, but we as humans and our attitudes change as we age and time marches on. And obviously you fast forward and not many people bought Assassin's Creed collector boxes, and I remember actually about 6 to 12 months ago, at the worst part of the market, I ended up getting easily a couple hundred extra Assassin's Creed collector boxes. And I remember at release, the reason I said that is because the supply was so tight. The allocations were so rough nationwide. And of course, it has these really cool, rare, serialized cards in it. And just everybody just destroyed it. And anybody who said they liked it and believed in it was just destroyed. I mean, verbally just trashed. And then, of course, in 2023, we had the Wilds of Eldraine, Lost Caverns of Ixalan, all these collector boxes came out and just failed. And everybody, Rudy, I love you, bro, but I can't buy the stuff. I'll wait for the crash. And all these things happened. And of course, then the big grand finale of Baldur's Gate collapse, and of course, Lord of the Rings Holiday, the ultimate finishing move of collapse. And then we fast forward today to 2025. And now we're in the situation where Spider-Man collector boxes skyrocketed to $1,000 a box. And as of the filming of this video, they have tanked from 1,000. I don't know what's going to be when you watch this video, but as I'm filming this, Spider-Man collectors are on TCG Player for $650 plus tax. Based on what I'm seeing, I'm expecting at this point for them to keep going lower, because this is the most amount of negative, rash anger I have seen since the crash of 2022, 2023. This is the most amount of bearish activity I have seen. And the most interesting component of this is, since this is going to be our first major downswing we've had in a couple of years with Magic, most of you watching this weren't around and watching this channel 2, 3, 4 years ago. And a lot of people opening stores and accounts, they don't know what this is. They don't know what this is like. So this is going to be our first interesting test to see. We are seeing stores and employees list everything they can and try to fire sale as much as they can. I will tell you all right now. Last weekend, I tried to sell my Spider-Man play and collector boxes to patrons. It did okay. It didn't do that well. I was, for the first time in 2.1 years, I could not sell the play boxes and collector boxes. I couldn't even sell it all. I got stuck with Spider-Man. It happens. The last time I was stuck was Karlov Manor didn't sell out. Lost Caverns of Ixalan didn't sell out. Wilds of Eldraine and Lord of the Rings Holiday were the worst. Those are the ones that I got clobbered on the most. But this is the first time we've seen it. It's been a while. It's truly been a while. Through the Foundations, the Duskmourn, the Bloomburrows. I mean, even the Aether. I mean, most of these sets have done quite well. And now all of a sudden we are out of nowhere in this moment where it's almost like I woke up 2 years ago and everyone's like running for the door, yelling, saying the end is near. And, this timer, I've been doing this so long. Rudy's been on YouTube for how many years? And I don't have much of a reaction anymore. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all you should buy the dip on Spider-Man. I don't really care anymore. I'm just going to tell you what happened. I see stores freaking out. I am trying to decide how much and what kind of buying I want to do with Spider-Man as we go into release. I don't share the opinion with everyone else. To me, this feels like an Assassin's Creed 2.0. And honestly, I think this is a better product than Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed collector boxes, I just absolutely love the serialized cards in that set. But as far as the regular set, it's still okay. But I actually think Marvel's Spider-Man's a better set. All the costume variant Spider-Man cards, the Chase cards, the Peter Parkers, and of course, the Soulstone, there's some expensive-ass cards in here. And the print run is not high. And again, it is 20-30% less than Final Fantasy's release. And now, if we see this continue to cut downwards like a falling knife, Wizards has 5 different sets to reprint playboxes for. You bet your ass Spider-Man Playbox reprint is going to be on the back of the line based on what the market's doing. Or they choose to not give a shit and say, fuck it, just leave it. I'm just saying here, folks, I'm not going to go online and tell you guys like I did with Assassin's Creed, Ixalan, Wilds, Lord of the Rings, Fallout. I'm just here to tell you, for the first time in a couple of years, I couldn't even sell the Spider-Man. And for those of you asking, I did a little bundle, 3 Spider-Man play boxes and Spider-Man collector box. And I kind of tried to price them at like $155 for like a play box, and then like $679 for like a collector box. Now, of course, the play boxes are holding up better and more expensive than that. And of course, now the collector boxes are dropping. So we're kind of having some go up and some go down. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But my instinct right now is kind of let all the fear and blood in the street run around. And I'm going to decide not if I'm going to buy something, but it decides over the next 30 days, I'm going to decide how much I want to buy. Unlike many years ago, I didn't have the resources and the capital that I had 3 years, 5 years, 7 years ago that I have today. And now, seeing something unique like this that I know has a very finite print run on the collector box, and knowing how the market conditions are, maybe this is a big enough collapse or a shift that maybe the bull market in Magic tilts. Maybe we peaked and maybe now we're heading back down. It's possible. Anything can happen. But we'll see. I think it's going to be interesting to report the updates over the next few weeks, and we'll see how the market calibrates. But I guess if it's not Pokemon, there's no guarantee, right? I'm hoping to be able to acquire a lot of other product from individuals who are going to be very nervous. That is going to be the goal here. I do not share everybody else on the internet in the world right now who are screaming the end is near and hot trash and everything's going to fall apart. No, Spider-Man is nowhere near as good as Final Fantasy. Everybody knows it. No one's saying Spider-Man's better than Final Fantasy or better than Fallout or better than this. Everyone's just saying that Spider-Man definitely was not as good as anticipated. And the attitude that everyone's saying is the cards are fun, the flavor is fun, but the power level, the lack of serialized cards, and it just feels like they didn't put the passion into it that Final Fantasy has. Final Fantasy, like when I did that box opening, I mean, it's just a good product. And that's just what it is. I'm going to be doing some Spider-Man box openings over the next few days, and let's see if I feel the same way as I do with the Final Fantasy. My instinct is, It may not feel as good. That's at least what everyone's telling me, but we're going to find out. But I just want to do a follow-up video with y'all. And I'm kind of watching all the drama right now. I don't really have much to say or shill or discuss right now. I'm just kind of watching. And I hope for those who've been around a long time, you recognize the massive potential opportunity that could be arriving in front of us over the next few weeks. Because windows of opportunity in this world, they don't stay open very long. The opportunities are usually very small, very finite. I'm going to end this video with a couple of those small stories, okay? So when about a year ago, or maybe a year and a half, whenever Fallout came out, the collector box allocation was so bad, I ended up taking Fallout collector boxes, and I sold Fallout collector boxes with Karlov Manor collector boxes. Now, obviously, at the time, people thought Karlov Manor collector boxes were worth zero, and people thought I think it was like $300 or $50, $350 or $400. Was it $300 or $300 or $350, $375? People thought Fallout collector boxes for $300 to $400 was a ripoff. And I remember selling Karlov Manor with Fallout for like $600 for like, I think 2 or 3 or 4 boxes. And I remember that story, and I remember going through that, and I remember people being angry, and I remember a lot of people telling me to fuck myself and all this stuff, and I'll never buy this. And it's funny today because a Fallout collector box is like $1,500, almost $2,000. In Karlov Manor, Carlos foreclosed Manor, they paid all their payments and they're no longer in foreclosure, and Karlov Manor collector boxes are making a run to $300. And it's a weird thing, and then I look back at the Assassin's Creed example, and that was a really interesting one because I made a video about that one, and apparently the internet went crazy, and I impacted the price movement of that on TCG Player because Assassin's Creed was like $200 a collector box. And I told everyone, like, the allocations are really bad. This thing should be $300, $400, $500 plus. You should be buying this right now. And then the market went crazy and everybody panicked. And, after that video I made, the price did skyrocket to $300, $400, $500. And then, of course, everybody rejected the product and said Rudy was full of shit. And then the price tanked all the way back. And Assassin's Creed hit a low of about $180, $190 on TCG Player. And I feel like I was the only one buying Assassin's Creed collectors for $180, $190, $200 because it was easy to do. Every time someone listed a case online of 6 boxes, I would just go on eBay and buy them for $180, $190, or if there was an auction, I could just bid on it, and there really wasn't competition. And the question you always ask yourself is, what is really so different from those examples to the examples today? What is so different on the new Pokemon box today from a Pokemon box in the past? What's different on a collector box of Spider-Man compared to a collector box of Doctor Who? Of a collector box of Fallout? Of a collector box of Wilds, of Ixalan, of Duskmourn, of Foundations, of Bloomborough? It doesn't really matter the set you pick anymore. You can pick older stuff. Kamigawa, all-time highs. Streets of Copacabana's Barry Manilow, back to $200 a box, actually tied with the all-time high. You could go to anything. Adventures Forgotten Realms, Strixhavens, you could keep going all the way forward, all the way to the Phyrexias, March of the Stepmom, March of the Machines, the Brothers' War, and you can go forward, and all of them are all-time highs. But for 2 years, all of those items were ridiculed, and they were all looked upon as trash. And what makes this stuff so difficult is you have to have a theory or belief in yourself, in your own ability to make the decisions, because you can't go online and look for other opinions. You can't go online and search for other people. Well, does anyone else agree with me? You kind of like to research Pokemon or Magic or Flesh and Blood or Weiss or One Piece, and you're kind of researching them. What's going on? What's everybody think? What's everybody think of this product? I'm going to post on Discords and Reddits and Facebooks and MySpace, and I'm going to go on OnlyFans, and I'm going to ask this hot chick and be like, what does she think about Karlov Manor? Like, you kind of want that. You want that kind of feedback. You want that positive loop of you have a good idea. But that's not how the internet works. To be first to market, the people who really have the wealth transfer, the people who really, they don't make money. They make massive, massive wealth. We're not talking flipping things, making $10, $20. We're talking the the person from 2 years ago who bought 24 boxes of Lord of the Rings Holiday from me for, I don't know, 5 or 10 grand, and it's worth 50 grand. You were talking big boy money. And the toughest part about this kind of stuff is on those topics, besides the conversations I have with you guys on this channel to try to have logical talks, there's really not much conversation and not much open-minded discussions on these products you can have. You cannot have these conversations on social media. You cannot post on social media platforms like Reddits and Facebooks and MySpace. You can't do it. I mean, before I end the video, let me give you guys a little funny thing. I think 4 times in the last year, I believe someone has figured out what I've been buying and deploying $1 million towards. And it was posted, I believe it was Reddit, 4 times. But thankfully, if you do anything with the name Rudy or Alpha Investments social media, they pull it down and they ban and give people warnings. So thankfully, every time it's revealed, it's censored. That's the beautiful thing of our society. The beauty is, as people say, sometimes things are just set up to be easier. I hope you all see the opportunity in Spider-Man that I see. I'm not going to give you a price to buy. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I think you should use your own judgment. And if you can't figure that out, I don't know why you're watching this channel. Probably just go watch a deck tech and where people sit around and talk about their feelings, and go fucking figure your life out.